it has the misfortune of finding its way into my web. Shh. Now. Don't struggle, my pet. You'll hurt yourself and those pretty wings. Oh, love, unfurling those wings at me. You little moths are so cute, so twitchy and reactionary. And you even managed to blind yourself in the struggle. Goodness. Yes, I have 8 appendages, love. You're in a spider's web, my dear. And I am the spider. Don't fret yourself too much. Not your standard Drider, lovely. I'm a smidge more arachanophobia friendly. Here, see for yourself. Oh, there we are. Oh, that look you're giving me. Fear, intrigue, the hint of lust. Oh, you're one of those kinds of moths, aren't you? Did you zip into my study tonight because of my pretty little light show? Or because you were fascinated by the tales of the Half-Drider that supposedly drags in moths, butterflies, any other non-apex to do, well, heaven knows what. Do I feast on their insides? Do I torture them? Let's get a look at you, my fuzzy little siren. Oh, you're so vibrantly colored, but not poisonous, no. A rosy silk moth, are you? Oh, how cute. I always love how indignant your kind looks, flapping those little wings, antennae bobbing about. You lot always seem to have that little man syndrome, don't you? Oh no, Mr. Drider, please don't eat me. Oh please, I don't want to be liquefied. Careful, darling. Oh, that struggling and writhing is going to trigger my predatory instincts. And if you're foolish enough to twist around and show me your back, I'll simply have to eat you. It's in my nature, after all. Why do I not look like other Driders? Well, I'm a halfling of sorts. Half-Drider, half-elf. And, well, I suppose that would make quarter spider. I inherited my mother's elven beauty and my father's, well, arthropodian tendencies. Well, I assume I was largely left to myself after the both of them passed. Oh no, I fear they were violently killed for their love when I was quite young. Or did they? Oh, you're such a cute one. About to be potentially devoured by a sadistic Drider in a dark castle where no one will ever find you. And you gently apologize for my suffering. You're so... Oh, what's this? Oh, sensitive wings, love. I'll remember that. But for now, let me look. You have a hole in this wing. No wonder you fumbled your way into my web, darling. You're not an idiot, you're just injured. And perhaps a little kinky. Well, I can't let you go out into the big, scary world injured, can I? That'd be especially rude of me. Especially as a doctor. Darling, I've been alive a long, long time. Mother may have had some sort of vampiric tendencies. Pish-posh, who cares? Anytime I try and open myself up to take a look, I get to my ribcage before I think, Ashton, you fool. You don't know what a vampire looks like being dissected, you silly goose. And then I have to sew myself back up again while trying not to giggle. Terribly difficult. Perhaps I have a scalpel still in here. No, probably not. Wait. There it is. I should probably do something about that. But you're so much more interesting than my very alien biology. Please don't hurt you. Oh, you're a treat, my dear. Oh, my darling little Rosie. Why would you say such a hurtful thing? True, I have been very intimidating this whole time. Love, I am a spider. A vampiric one. Potentially, my entire aesthetic really is intimidation. There are larger predators. Always. And it is in my interest to appear haunting. But with you, well, honestly, it's just fun to see you shake. Those little knees locked together like I might do something ungentlemanly. Are you scared? Or are you expectant? Oh, you precious pink and yellow little puff of fuzz. Yes, I am scary. Very, very scary. Perhaps even a little deranged. But I can be reasoned with. Out there in the forest and skies, with nature as your only lover. Well, that is truly an abusive romance, isn't it? Think. You can be out there, minding your own business, falling in love, dancing, flying, seeking your purpose. And then, what? A harpy swoops down, tears out your innards while you thrash desperately to save your own life. Every instinct in you struggling, screaming in agony, while the harpy has his meal. He doesn't care for your pain. He has to eat. Nature is a psychopath. It can't be reasoned with. It has no respect for our lives. You think being out there is freedom? Yes. You came here because you were curious. You knew you'd either find purpose here or death. And were it death, you wanted to be on your terms. Admit it. It's all right. Be honest with yourself. You don't want to think about all those nasty thoughts in your mind, do you? All those, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I meant to do? No. You just want to be happy, to feel free. And that's why you came to me. You knew I would free you. In one way or another. Are you still frightened? Or do you feel safe, knowing that I know how to take care of you? There we are, Rosie. Out of my web. Come, sit in my lap by the fire and let me look at that poor little wing. Here. Are you still indignant, dear? You're the one burying that pretty little face in my chest. Shh, I'll take care of you now. You need never worry about the cruelty of the world again. Just my cruelty. Come in, Rosie. If you're here, that must mean it's... oh, midday already. Goodness, time does fly, doesn't it? Well, I'd hate for our special time together to be interrupted. Come, you know where you belong. Still so indignant. We've been spending time together for, nearly a month now. Here, let me scritch under that pretty little chin. You love that, don't you? So cute. Wrinkling that little nose, making those cute little sounds. And there you go. Burying your face in my chest to protect that sensitive little neck. Fine. I'll let you rest in quiet while I read. What am I reading? Oh, just some minor tomes on necromancy, nothing special. Have to keep the ghosts that act as the servants here somewhat happy, don't I? And don't worry, before you get upset, they're more than willing to help out. Provided I protect them from the ravenous demons that want to drag them to hell for their crimes. Isn't that quaint? Oh, you would like to read too? Oh, of course, you come from the wild. I'm sure you haven't had much access to human tools, especially books. Very well, more than happy to teach you. Your company has been pleasant, to say the least. Though you do make me, oh, so hungry. Whatever will I do if I run out of food, my dear? Oh. The part of my face a few inches beneath my nose. That is chitin, dear. From the shoulder to the neck. Chitin and protein, of course. My body is a mix of it and, well, humanoid flesh, I suppose. And from my chin down, it makes up certain parts of me. My mandibles, my extra appendages, as I'm sure you noticed. Why the sudden interest in my anatomy? Scooching under my chin now. You do love to play with fire, don't you, my sweet Rosie? Are you enjoying watching my mandibles twitch? Oh, my lips are right there, dearest. You might not have noticed, but I try not to open my mouth if I can help it. Most of you sweet, silky little creatures just have the most awful panics when I do. You wish to see it, do you? Very well. But I'm going to wrap most of my appendages around you, and use the last two to hold your face in place. Heavens no, I wouldn't want to scare my little puffball. My tongue, about 7 inches when I yawn fully. Very useful for probing into stubborn, sweet little flesh that doesn't want to come free. Now, my nice, pointed teeth. Want to try your luck? Oops. Snapped my mouth shut inches from your little hand. Oh, don't look so upset, Rosie. It's just a reflex. Why, if I were to bury my face into that sweet little neck, it'd be a miracle if I didn't bite. Let's test that theory, shall we? I'm a fan of experimentation, and I promise I won't be too harsh. Your reflexes are to desperately flap to be free. Hold still, love. It's important to keep you still for such dangerous experiments, such as this one. You know, most spiders, even Driders, wouldn't use their mandibles to taste. Consider these like your standard jaw. One doesn't use their jaws to taste. They use them to hold prey in place. Perhaps to help tear the flesh. But I can taste via mine if I truly wish to. And you have the most amazing taste of pollen and fear. Mochin, scritchin, I truly hate how nice that feels. Being docile feels just so wrong. But it is making me quite tired. I think it's been 2 years since I've last slept. Come with me, if you will. Stop staring at my tongue, dear. It's not poisonous. Dear. Do you really think I'm going to let you go? You're still injured, and now you also have to be punished for trying to tame me. Since this wave of sloth is your fault, you will be taking responsibility for it. Here we are. My gardens. They are beautiful, aren't they? They were somewhat in disrepair before you arrived, but I thought it might put you at ease to have a safe little space for you to explore. For me to potentially hunt you. I'll set you down. Feel free to explore while I settle in. You have 10 minutes to return to me. Good, Rosie. You came back right on time. Here, lie down with me. So obedient, so trusting. Even though you lie there with that little scowl on your face. You know, I think you're the first that's ever seen me open my mouth and didn't scream in terror. And the way you breathed when my lips were inches from your skin. Act indignant if you wish, but we both know you won't be able to pretend forever. There you are. Curl right on up beside me. I hope you have pleasant dreams, my soft little fuzz puff. Or that your nightmares are about me, whichever suits your fancy. Rosie, you didn't show up for supper again. You are just poofy from your literal fluff, not your weight. You look fine, and even then you'd look quite delectable with some more meat on your bones. Why are you up here in the gardens with cut flowers and journals open? Oh, you got caught up in a particularly good book. Which? A book of alchemistry. Interesting. Well, what have you learned? Yes, do go on. That is correct. All that makes up these precious flowers can be reduced to chemicals. With the right mixtures at the correct parameters, you can use these to help heal wounds, cure pain. Very good. Did your wings just light up for a moment? I'm not an expert on moth biology, yet I can't think of any species that can cause bioluminescence. Especially not a rose like yourself. A lunar moth would perhaps be able to replicate the glow, but that isn't natural bioluminescence. Now, I'm not calling you foolish. Come here. Come to Ashton. There we are. Good, Rosie. Do not feel stupid for not knowing these terms. Most of the common human folk that live nearby wouldn't know it either. All it means is that some creatures glow in the dark, for some reason or another, like little stars. I've collected my own ecosystem of tiny creatures that do so. Would you like to see it? That crystalline orb, my dear. It's been sitting in the sunlight all day. Now we need to go somewhere dark. Do you trust being in pitch black with me, darling? I'll be able to see you so much better than you will be able to see me. Oh, my dearest Rosie wants to see the stars. Well, dearest Ashton will provide. Let me just carry you in here. Ah, I believe this was once an art studio. No hanging lanterns or torches. Just dust, the dust, and fate. The door, please. Now, to punish you for trusting me, or reward you for trusting me. Well, either way, the stars for my beautiful Rosie. Ah, there they are. Dinoflagellates, they are called. Little plankton that soak up the sun during the day, and then bloom at night when the water is disturbed. It's quite pretty, isn't it? But look at how the light runs through your wings. My webbing. What about it? Oh, you wish to see the light dance off it, then? Very well, then. Do be a dear. Lift up my shirt, won't you? I have to reach down to my lower back, after all. Those are my abs, darling, not my spinneret. There you are. Go on. Take my webbing and decorate as you see fit. I'll stand right here, just in case you trip over those cute little feet. All done? I closed my eyes. May I see your creative handiwork, my dear? It's beautiful, Rosie. You are... You're somewhat tangled in me now, darling. You've practically tied us together. Relax yourself. You'll get cut up in my webbing if you keep struggling like that. And it's not as if you aren't used to being flush against my chest, dear. Though this is a bit more intimate than normal, isn't it? Oh, Rosie, the moment hasn't been ruined at all. Look at how beautiful the room is with you in it now. And there we are, all free from the webbing. Come, let's get back into the light so we don't trip over each other. Here. The orb, so you can see the stars whenever you please. Oh, and do feel free to make the art studio your own. I hardly ever paint anymore. I can show you if you'd like, yes. But you'd best be careful, dear. I might start getting the impression that you actually enjoy spending time with me. You're welcome, pet. You're something else, Rosie. Most of your ilk are too focused on dancing about, trying to attract mates and all of that jazz, I suppose, to worry about the arts or the sciences. Suppose you wouldn't really have time in that environment. Still, you've pushed to learn so much since you came here. I am proud. Yes, stand there and look baffled at a legitimate compliment from me. 'Tis terrifying, I'm sure. There we are. There's my Rosie calling me a big, mean asshole. Can't finish the day without hearing that. Oh, if I were nicer, I might hear nicer things. Such as... Sweet dreams. I hope you rest well. I had a nice day with you. Or even, I am with you through all bad dreams. Goodness me. Those are much nicer than being called an asshole. But I think I prefer our current dynamic. Knowing you go to bed so frustrated, just seeping in confusion and desire. Oh, Rosie, whatever will you do if my banter turns nicer? You won't even know what to do if I start whispering sweet nothings into your ear before you head off to slumber, will you? Can you even fathom me lying next to you, waking in the dead of night to whisper, I love you? Rather chilling, isn't it? Oh, now are we holding hands? Oh, you think you're brave enough to sleep in the same bed with me, You barely got any sleep during our nap in the garden, dear. Are you sure? Oh, you want me to shut up, and you're going to have to make me shut up by cuddling. Of course, of course. How foolish of me to draw your wrath. However shall I survive those little puffs waggling angrily? Or withstand those indignant teary eyes? Or survive those poofy wings flapping with such conviction? Oh, Rosie, come now. You know I can carry you around this castle for far longer than you can pretend to be dead. Very well, then, very well. Then I shall carry my dead, withered love over the threshold. I do hope the wedding guests don't mind cannibalism. Can't let you go to waste, after all. Fine, I'll shut up long enough for my poor Rosie to get some sleep. I don't think I bite in my sleep, but you know us Driders. Oh, sweet love, sweet love. Don't be mad at your dear Ashton, he lives to please. Love you too, darling, and do not try to cuddle too close. My impulse control is just awful. Rosie. Up late once more. Committed to the craft of painting, of course. May I see? Ah, what a cute, kitty cat. Oh, of course, it's the food over there. Silly me, I must have forgotten my glasses. True, I don't wear glasses. Regardless, you're new at this. It takes practice. Let your passion to learn and explore drive you, not an imaginary signpost saying your dedication only matters if the end result is perfection. Have fun, more or less. Oh, I know that pout. You're discouraged. Very well. How might Sir Ashton aid his lovely, puffy royal today? Very well. Sit down and I will do my best to capture you in your integrity. Yes, you're welcome. You're all puffed up, dear. Unless you want me to paint a pink and yellow circle with those big, pretty eyes glaring at me. That's quite a pose, Rosie. Head tilted back in defiance, antennae drawn back. That little pout. You've been here for a few months now, and I honestly can't tell if you're challenging me to do something, or you're trying to tease me. Either way, it's adorable. I know, darling. I simply am the worst. Oh, hold on. Extend your leg again. Yes, the right one. Perfect. How long have I painted? Oh, since I was a little boy. If you look up, you can actually see some of my older pieces on the ceiling. Mostly silly finger painting, I'll admit. But when you have 2 hands, 6 extra limbs, you can get a bit more expressive, I feel. Oh, no, that was my attempt at a cat. If you look a bit to the right, you can see all my attempts over the years. I think the final one came out decent enough. Well, that's very kind of you to say. One can learn quite a bit when they have time and resource. Hobbies help pass the time. In truth, I am trying knitting. A smidge of motor function confusion when you have all 8 appendages involved, though. Oh, what is that pout? No, show me again. Rosie, I don't want to paint you looking sad. Hold still. Look at me for a moment. Oh, there. A kiss for my Rosie. There's all that indignation. Oh. And your wings are lighting up once more. They really shouldn't be lighting up. Don't worry. Just sit still and let me paint you looking like an angry cotton ball. Someone's curious today. What have I been reading? Well, as it were, I've been reading up on your kind, dear. I've been seeking an answer concerning your unusual bioluminescence. I hope you'll forgive me for not reading it to you this time. Why? Well, it was written by a gentleman who was, how do you say, very enthusiastic about his studies on moth folk. His scientific contributions are immense, but he had a habit of making sketches that are very anatomically accurate, and also yes, lewd, pornographic, quite frankly. I don't think any moth folk is capable of pulling off some of these poses, being able to fit that much in their throats. How much? Let's see. How would I? About the size of a baguette? You absolutely cannot fit a whole baguette down your throat. I refuse to believe this. Fine, I'll hand you the prop one from the food piece you were doing. But you're not going to... Of all the things you had to disprove, it was that myth. Fine, cough it up, or gulp it down like a duck, I guess. What else was in the book? As I said, it's largely scientific observations and so on. Moth folk aren't easy to get close to after all. Very justifiably skittish. I just think this gent was very involved with his work. You really want to see the drawings, don't you? Very well. After this I'll show you, but I'm not responsible for you getting wound up. Oh, love, you can give me that look and bob your antennae however you wish. I think we both know that if that were on either of our minds, then we'd have acted upon it by now. So cute. Now sit still. Another question? Oh, very well. What is it now? When is your wing going to heal? Your wing is never going to heal, Rosie. No matter what I do. I assure you, if I could heal them, I would. In an instant. But holes don't. They don't go away. And if you try and go out there without being able to fly, you wouldn't last nary a day. So I need you to understand that this is not about some selfish or possessive urge to keep you here. This is me, your doctor, trying to save your fucking life. Don't look at me like that. I don't make this world cruel. I exist in it the same as you do. This is how things are. It doesn't matter if you're a sweet, curious little moth or some wretched abomination whose parents decided to leave him in the decayed ruins of some castle as an infant to slowly, agonizingly starve to death. This world, it doesn't care. sorry I yelled. You asked a simple question, and I should have responded respectfully. I didn't mean to legitimately frighten you. May I help you up? Please. I'll give you some space. I just ask one thing. If you do decide to leave, I cannot stop you, nor will I. For however vile you think of me, I am not a man that will force himself or his wishes upon another living being. I simply request that you say goodbye. I know I will not see you again if that happens, whether it is of your control, or if the world in its infinite cruelty decides to cut you down. I simply wish to have that closure of a goodbye. And we're hugging now. What? Yes, I used myself as an example of the world's cruelty. I don't have many other references. Rosie, you're being hysterical. Yes, I suppose it's saddening, but it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't hurt anymore. So, there. It's all right, Rosie. You confuse me. You are truly the most confusing person I have ever met. Why are you sad for me? Why do you weep for me? I was not sad for you, I was simply making a point. I need to go. Where are they? They didn't come to bed. Didn't come to have breakfast with me. They didn't even join me for our reading time. And they were so looking forward to those nonsensical moth drawings, and covering more on alchemistry. What is that muffled thumping? Ugh. I heard much too far with my outburst. This isn't... I don't do this. Master taught me better how to be cool and even-minded in all situations, no matter how bad it was. There must be a way to logically solve this. I just need to sit down with Rosie and have a talk. They'll understand. They always do. They didn't leave, did they? No. They promised they would tell me. And even when they are enraged with me, Rosie always keeps their word. Rosie, darling, please, where are you? Damn it, no. Ashton, stop panicking. Calm down. Stop panicking. What would he think of you now? Of you showing such vulnerability? Wait. That was their wings flapping. They must be annoyed. I'm sure it may, but that's fine. They must be in the gardens. They love it there. They were so pleased with the new marigolds. Focus. Rosie, darling, can we please talk? Come now, I know you're somewhere up in the tree line, but you blend in with the foliage. Please come out. Rosie! Rosie, what are you doing? Gods above, you've hurt yourself, and all these bruises, Lord no, and your bad wing is almost completely ripped off. Rosie, stop struggling, damn it. Stop trying to tug at your wounded wing. What are you hoping to do, rip it off? What good will that do? Don't you dare say that. It is not useless now, and I have no desire to take it from you. You poor little cotton ball, what on earth were you doing? You wanted to see if you could fly. Rosie, I told you, your wing, it's... Oh. Please don't cry. It's intensely uncomfortable. Okay, how do normal people do this? There. Tell me what's on your mind. Was that right? Ahem. Talk to me about your severe issues. Yes. I do not mean to talk down to you, Rosie, when I make jests about moth folk. I expect you to make jokes about Driders in return, though I do suppose that's foolish. At the end of the day, I do not think of you, nor your kind, to be clueless idiots, far too foolish to help themselves. You are startlingly brilliant. You do your best no matter how I annoy you, and you've come so very far in a short amount of time. And I enjoy your company. I enjoy how, to get back at me for annoying you, you will ask me all sorts of random questions before I try and sleep. Sleep you insisted I get, but sometimes we have nights where we stay up, talking about everything and nothing. I cherish those moments, our meals together, how you twirl and make those little sounds of pleasure when you try on clothes left over both from queens, kings, and diplomats from 1,000 nations. And you're resting your head on my shoulder now. Wonderful. Yes, this is exactly what I want while holding my beaten and bruised Rosie. Is my chest rising and falling rapidly? I imagine that. Imagine if I hadn't found you. You'd be lying here, broken and wounded. And if I'd gone out to search for you, you could have starved. And it would have been my fault. It would have... I don't. No one deserves to starve to death. No one. I've never forgotten those ravenous dogs called hunger, tearing me apart from the inside. If he hadn't found me, no one. It doesn't matter. Just I don't wish to discuss it. We're discussing you. How can you be interested in my pain when you are suffering so much of your own? You care for me. Rosie, don't move if you can help it. Here, let me get you to my laboratory. Don't you fret. You just need some medicine. Then I can set your wing. I can't heal the hole in it, but we can at least set it properly so that it may heal. After that, you're on bed rest until I say otherwise, and gods above help you if you disobey me. My poor little Puff. All these bruises and cuts. I can't take it. I can't stand to see you wounded like this. No. Do not apologize, my dear. Only apologize if you concede death, because then I will have to meet him on his own grounds and drag you back. You are not allowed to leave this mortal coil until I deem it so. Understood? I'm sorry to frighten you, my dearest little pink and yellow puffball. I know I am intense in this mood, but one must be intense to be a doctor. Now here, I'm going to give you a small injection. I know, needles are not enjoyable, but it will numb the pain. Hope you sleep so I can attend to you without you writhing in agony. Do you trust me? Yes, it will make you feel a tad strange before you go to sleep, love. Now, try and hold still. Yes, I'm glad you enjoy my mandibles, darling, but I really... Okay, thank you. I'm glad you think I'm very handsome and well-spoken. Now try... Now stop trying to seduce me mid-surgery, please. I love you too. Fortunately, you are far too drugged to remember that. Or this. There. Now go to sleep, my silly little lantern dancer.